And you feel super entitled to that too. It's like,
I don't understand why you can't get the concept that I've talked to my partner. I'm not taking away his ability to have children. We've both agreed we don't want to have children. If he doesn't want to have children, I'm not taking that away from him.
To be fair, I did say he's a pathetic simp. So, I mean, that's right in line with being a pathetic simp. You just,
I think he would just respect women's choices.
Until I die.
A few moments later.
You're a bit of a baby farm. Haven't you popped out 5 children?
Yeah.
You're
I'm
a baby
mother.
farm.
Oh.
I think that's the ultimate form of sex work, actually.
What's that?
I think that you popping out 5 children is the ultimate form of sex work, because without those children, would your husband provide for you?
Degrading language. Wait a minute. Why are you using degrading language? Popping out babies. Popping out babies? So you're against people having babies?
If you didn't provide children, would your husband marry you?
You should be so lucky because you're going to die alone.
Okay.
Early.
Thank you so much.
On top of that. So
thank you so much.
I mean, if you would you like me to go wake up my children and get them down here too, so you can tell them that they're like gross little
I don't think it's appropriate.
That
I don't think it's really appropriate.
Them out, that they're the result of baby farm. I mean, take your little snarky little insults and shove them up your ass, because
do you think your parents did that?
It's women like me who are doing
my parents only
what
had
women
one
are supposed
child.
to do.
My parents
you
only
are
had
useless. You are a useless heifer who has never done anything except
you're
glorify your own
great
desire.
woman.
Nice.
You're a very godly woman, aren't
Both
you?
of you be nice.
Hey guys, welcome back to Liminal Period. It's your girl, Chun-Li Shoddy. In today's video, I have a clip from the Whatever podcast featuring Rachel Wilson, where she's going to be tearing into some modern day feminists. I want to share this video with you guys because there were a couple moments that gave me pause, even though I agree with majority of what Rachel Wilson is saying. Like I said, there were a couple moments that made me, want to just dig a little bit deeper. And actually, that's what inspired my video on Friday, where I called Andrew Wilson a hypocrite. So in today's video, I guess I'll continue the conversation that provides some context as to why I think Rachel Wilson is just a chameleon. So without further ado, let's get into today's video.
There's Andrew with the cigarette.
She needs that
We
pillow.
need Andrew. We need Rachel
This way.
to. Can we
I
get
literally
Rachel a
got
cigarette?
dragged out of bed for this. This better be good. I hear my husband is a woman-hating misogynist, and I'm here to show proof of life. He unchained me from the stove just long enough to be here. So
she's out of the dog cage.
How can I help you, ladies?
Who? So have you watched your husband talk to women on the podcast?
Yeah, I listen to every single podcast he does. I've also been on the podcast, and I debate women all the time myself.
Okay.
In fact, I was listening to you earlier describe how you think that men should pay for dates with women who want to be equal, don't want to give them children, and also want to have their own careers. And that absolutely blew my mind.
You don't think that men should pay on the first date?
Oh, I think they should pay on the first date for women who are going to be wives, not for women like you.
I wouldn't be a wife?
Not if you're going to refuse to give a man children, have to have your own career working outside the home.
It's not refusing to give a man children.
No, you're a roommate. Why would a man pay for you if you're just a roommate? Do you want to be equal or no?
Well, I have a conversation with my partner, and we've discussed having children. I'm not taking away from them having children. We've decided together that having children is probably not the best idea.
If you're equal partners, why should he pay for your stuff?
Because a man at the beginning of the relationship should want to prove that they are invested in the relationship.
So what are you proving? Like, well,
I'm there.
If I was a man, I'd be like, hell to the no, to the no,
like,
no.
If it's not equal,
no.
what do you?
I'd be like, no, thank you, ma'am. You can pay for your own supersized McValue meal, and I will go find a woman who actually wants to be a wife if I'm going to pay for shit.
You said you're
makes no sense.
You said you're equal 50% is just being there. So does that mean he's doing 70% because he's paying and there too? You're both there.
No, but I think
So
it's
how is that
showing the investment. Women show investment with time, because if you do want to have children, there's limited time. But I think that women, they value different things. Like, they value when a man provides for them, especially on a first date, a first meeting.
And men value.
So you providing your glorious presence is what he's investing in.
If he values my presence, yes. I don't really see
Well,
a
I mean,
huge
simps
issue.
are gonna simp. There's a simp out there, for everyone. So
I don't think that's the right way to go about
it's simping. That's the worst simping ever. I'm gonna let you live at my house for like practically free and split the chores and pay for all your shit. That's simping. That's like the
Or just like
definition
a guy
of
who
simping.
genuinely likes you. Do you pay any bills with your husband?
No, but I'm a stay-at-home mom. I raise the children. I cook all the meals. Andrew has never done a house chore ever in 17 years. I do all of that.
So I just want to pause real quick. First off, I agree with a lot of what Rachel is saying. If you guys haven't heard my perspective on who should pay for the first date, please do go check out that video. I will link in the description box down below. But I agree with Rachel. For the most part, modern day men have a lot to lose when it goes to first dates, especially if they're meeting a woman who is not wanting to have kids. But at the same time, I don't know the dynamics between her and her boyfriend, and she's saying that he doesn't want to have kids either. But neither here nor there. Like you said, she's been devoted to Andrew for 17 years, okay? So just a piece of context for everyone that was in the comment section saying, oh, well, her and Andrew have been together for, 20 plus years. Women were different back then. Let's just do the math, okay? 17 years ago is 2007. It's not that long ago, okay? So anyways, again, like, I agree with Rachel, and if they've been married for 17 years, that means that they're doing something right? But anyways.
Bring him his food. I bring him his drinks. I keep track of his schedule. Basically do anything he needs me to do to help him, because that's my duty in the relationship. So yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about investment, I'm pretty invested. So he feels like, if I want this traditional wife role, and I actually do all those things, then he feels like it's worth it to provide. But if I were to come in here and be like, well, I want my own career, and you have to do your own laundry, and we're gonna split the chores 50-50, and I wanna be equal, he'd be like, okay, bitch, then you can be equal and pay for all your shit. Like, why would he pay for my stuff? This makes no sense. You guys have to choose. Do you wanna be strong, independent, equal women, or do you want chivalry and protection and provision? You want the best of both. You want all of the rights and all of the privileges, and you want none of the duties and none of the responsibilities. And that's bullshit. It's like you didn't have a mom to tell you that this isn't how the world works or something. Like, my daughters don't get that nonsense from me. I'm like, no, that's not how that works.
So if your daughters...
why are you so entitled? That's what I want to know.
If your daughters went on a first date, you want them to split the bill.
What's that?
If your daughters went on a first date, would you want them to split the bill?
Only if they're going to be feminists, which they're not, because I didn't raise them to be that way.
Okay.
So, yeah. I mean, it even goes beyond division of labor. It's more than about division of labor. Like, I have tremendous amount of respect for Andrew. He is the head of the household. He's the person that has the major burden of most of the responsibility. We've had a home invasion. He was the person who had to go deal with that and risk his life. He's worked 60, 70-hour weeks for years so that I could stay home and our kids didn't have to be raised by strangers in daycare. I mean, there's a massive amount of responsibility on this man, and he's extremely competent. He is a really loving, honorable man who has like very firm boundaries and stands by them and takes very good care of his family. So he gets the big piece of chicken, he gets the respect, he gets the love and the admiration, and because I'm loyal and I'm doing all those things, then he provides for me and protects me and the kids. And yeah, I mean, this is how it works. Now, if you don't want that and you want this egalitarian stuff where we're equal partners, he's my partner, then you gotta pay for your own shit. And you gotta do your own work, and you better take care of all your own stuff, and don't expect the man to go answer the bump in the night, because you're strong, you're equal, right? If you're equal, you can go take care of that. You can go deal with the man that breaks in the middle of the night. You can change the tire in the rain. If the basement floods and there's sewage backing up into it, I guess you can go deal with that, right? So you just have to choose. Don't do this bullshit where you're like, we're equal partners, except for when there's anything dirty, dangerous, difficult. That's all his job. I just sit here and grace him with my glorious presence. That's entitlement, that's narcissism, it's terrible behavior, it's ruining society. And then on top of it, you feel no obligation to produce future generations. You want him to just let his lineage die with him. And you feel super entitled to that too. It's like,
I don't understand why you can't get the concept that I've talked to my partner. I'm not taking away his ability to have children. We've both agreed we don't want to have children. If he doesn't want to have children, I'm not taking that away from him.
To be fair, I did say he's a pathetic simp. So, I mean, that's right in line with being a pathetic simp. I
think he would just respect women's choices.
Until I die.
Okay, so that was something that gave me pause, okay? And it gave me even more pause the second time around after I did some digging and rewatched this video. At first, I was just more so like, oh, like, just because a guy doesn't want to have kids, I don't think that necessarily means that he's automatically a simp. There are plenty of men that never have the opportunity or just don't have the desire for whatever reason it is to have children. Like, I've heard a lot of people, even cite climate change as a reason as to why not to bring kids into the world. Okay, Leonardo DiCaprio, he's a 50-year-old man without any children. I wouldn't say that he's a simp. But anyways, like I was saying, the second time when I rewatched this, after knowing that Rachel did have kids from other men, 2 other guys prior to Andrew, I don't know, it's like a lot of men might say that, hey, Andrew Wilson is a simp for marrying a woman who has kids with other men. I mean, like, yes, you're talking about a lineage and continuing his legacy, but what are your first 3 kids? Like, what do they have to do with his lineage or his legacy?
It's just, you guys are selfish materialists is what I'm getting. Life is about me and my comfort and what I want and my, I live for me every day. I wake up with no thought of the future or any duties or responsibilities I have to anyone other than myself. And that's great. So it's like, if you want to live that way, I guess. But I'm just looking at you and I'm listening to you and I'm wondering where this entitlement and this sense of confidence is coming from.
I'm entitled because I don't want to have children and I like when men pay on first dates. That's entitlement.
Well, what are you useful for?
I would say that women have intrinsic value.
What are you specifically?
Well, I'm a woman, so I have intrinsic value. Sad that you don't see that.
Why? How?
Because I'm a person, and everyone has value. It depends on who's looking at you.
Do men have intrinsic value?
Yeah, they do. But I said that it's different. It's a different type of value.
There's another one coming in. Random Bear.
Random_Bear donated $69. Rachel be like, I got out of bed for this, and look this good. I will bring the heat.
Is it me, or does Rachel kind of favor Pearl?
I look terrible. Terrible, but thank you. It's fine. It's fine.
Wait, you're shaking your head. A star. That's not very judgment. Also,
Love your
Rachel
neighbors.
looks very dapper. Rachel.
See, and with Brian saying that Rachel looks dapper, I think this also gave me pause because it just shows you like what type of environment this is, okay? Because realistically speaking, Rachel is not an attractive woman. I'm not saying she's unattractive, but she's average. She's a basic looking woman. I feel like when you're on this show, if you come off like dumb or like a bimbo, or you don't have all of your facts in check or stats at the top of your mind, they are going to crucify you. However, I feel like whenever there are women that are on this show that express the same sentiment that they have, no matter how wrong it is or how toxic it might be, they get applauded, So this is just an example, and that's the only reason why I'm even including this TTS section into this video, because in my comment section of the video where I was calling out Andrew, a lot of men were just simply defending Andrew and saying that he learned from his past experiences and that's what makes him not a hypocrite, and that Rachel Wilson is a great woman, da 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 da. It's like, you know, it's not worth it to even debate. Like, again, I'm not trying to debate. I'm just trying to have a conversation. And when you have the comment section from the Whatever podcast and half of those people that they're even reading the comments from specifically paid in order to have their message read out loud. They're saying ad hominem attacks. So can you just imagine like how it feels to be in that position?
It looks very dapper.
I literally just like put on face cream and was like tucking myself into bed, and Andrew comes upstairs. So
Rachel is Titus 2:4-5. What's that?
That's the Titus 2 wife. It's like a description of like what an honorable woman is and how she acts and operates in the world. So thank you. That's a lovely compliment. I certainly have my flaws. It's not like I'm over here being a perfect wife or anything, but the point is I try and I care about, you know.
Brian's lint roller donated $69. Rachel is out of the kitchen, but she's still cooking.
Like I said, I agree with a lot of the points that she made.
Now, since Rachel also came down, she wanted to address, I guess, your criticisms. You said, Andrew, he has animosity towards women and that he hates women.
Yes, and so does she. And
Captain donated $69.
Found someone just
I definitely
mean-spirited.
take a bullet for the girl in the white crop top. This girl is based and hot.
I want to address the gal with the pink
pause the
hair real
TTS.
quick because I did hear her say that. It is not hatred to criticize women. It is in no way hateful to notice when women are acting like entitled narcissists and to call them out on that. Like I said, all the women at this table could tell me all night long about what they think they deserve and what their rights are and what they should have and what they ought be able to do. But none of you can tell me what duties, responsibilities, or obligations you have outside of yourself to society, to the people around you. You would say things like, I'm smart and I'm funny and I'm just a really great person and I'm a good friend and, you know, all these worthless platitudes. But there's no like sacrifice. You don't ever feel you need to sacrifice anything for anyone outside yourself. You're not willing to have sleepless nights so that you can raise babies and produce human beings that are gonna go out into the world and have a legacy and have an effect, right? You're not really willing to do much of anything unless it benefits you. And then if someone questions, if Andrew comes on here and says, let me poke around and see why you think these things. Let me see if there's any logic behind your beliefs. Let me see if you even understand why you believe the things you believe. You think that's hateful. You think that's misogynistic. You think he's mean. No, it's just that you're used to being treated like a child princess and being carried around on a cushy little pillow in life with absolutely no opposition, with nobody ever going, hey, wait, what are you doing? What are you providing in life? What are you doing for anyone else outside yourself? You haven't ever been challenged on anything because you're a pretty girl, right? I'm young and I'm cute. Why are you questioning me? Why are you so hateful? Where's all the trauma? No, I'm just a 44-year-old woman who's actually lived, raised 5 children, worked really hard in my life for everything I have. I take care of, you know, other family members. I help at my church. I do things that aren't just for me. So when I see girls that behave this way and have this mentality, you're damn right I'm gonna come on here and say some shit, especially if I get dragged out of bed to defend, you know, this little girl that's saying my husband must be traumatized and hates women. It's just garbage. You're full of shit. You have no idea what you're talking about.
So these are
I
the
hope
people
that
of
helps.
the Orthodox Church? You guys seem lovely. I would love to go to the Orthodox Church.
I think you're upset
so
because
sweet and loving.
coming from someone
Lovely.
who I know personally, I'm not a 10. I am very self-aware in that regard. I think that there might be animosity coming from you because you're maybe not as good looking.
Oh, I'm definitely not. I've been on the show. I've rated myself. But I grew up in an era where we didn't all think we were models. When you were growing up in the 80s and 90s, everyone didn't think they were a 10. Like, all of us girls who were not going to have modeling careers or be the hot cheerleader, we all knew that, and we were fine with it. And we didn't think we deserved 6 foot, 6 pack, 6-figure man. You know, we were just like happy to meet a nice boy who liked us back. This was before Instagram and all this crazy narcissistic insanity. Huh?
You're calling those boys simps.
No, I'm calling your boy a simp. He's a simp. That's simp behavior. A nice boy who likes you isn't the same thing as some absolute goober who's going to pay for all your crap.
He's not paying for everything.
Anything.
I'm just saying at the beginning of the relationship, on the first couple dates, a man should take the investment and pay for the first couple dates. I think it is equal. Like I am going to
jump off here because Andrew's going to come back, and I am actually going to go to bed. But does anybody have any like final questions or?
I'm just curious if anyone else on the show has brought up like internalized misogyny to you.
Yeah, I get it every day of my life. So you don't know my background,
okay.
but I wrote a book about the history of feminism and how almost everything that the normal person thinks about it is actually wrong. The way that the feminist liberation movements unfolded is garbage that was rewritten history by women's studies departments. And I debate feminists all the time, so this is normal for me. Of course, I've heard absolute garbage bullshit like internalized misogyny. It's not a thing. It doesn't exist. It's pure cope.
Okay.
I love women, but I do think that women have proper roles. And I think that the biggest problem, the problem with you and most of the other girls that have a problem with me, is that you don't understand that this modern world and all this beautiful technology around you that you're sitting in right now, if it weren't for men building that and maintaining that, you would have no illusion of being able to be a strong, independent woman and have all these choices and do what you want.
But why do men do all of that?
They do it because they're benevolent and they are good. Isn't that crazy? They're actually really nice and they care about us even though they don't have to.
But they're getting something out of you.
If men were as bad and misogynistic as you think, they would put us in cages and we'd be, baby farms. There would be baby farms.
I think you might be a little bit of a baby farm.
Because they could. No, they could.
You're a bit of a baby farm. Haven't you popped out 5 children?
Yeah.
You're a baby farm.
Oh,
I think that's the ultimate form of sex work, actually.
What's that?
I think that you popping out 5 children is the ultimate form of sex work because without those children, would your husband provide for you?
Degrading language. Wait a minute. Why are you using degrading language? Popping out babies. Popping out babies? So you're against people having babies?
If you didn't provide children, would your husband marry you?
No.
Exactly.
Why should he?
Exactly. So you're a baby farm to him.
Marrying someone is also about starting a family.
Yeah, a family.
These are my children.
So I think it's very interesting how Rachel say that when the big chick there was calling her a baby farmer because she's popping out babies, Rachel called it's interesting how Rachel calls that degrading language. Yet when the fat chick is talking about how her boyfriend, her and her partner have discussed it and they decided that they don't want to have kids, Rachel is calling her boyfriend, who's willing to take care of her, a simp. Again, I just want to point out the double standards, the hypocrisy, whatever you want to call it, whatever the terminology is, but I just want to point that out.
Baby farm.
You should be so lucky because you're going to die alone.
Okay.
Early.
Thank you so
early
much.
On top of that. So
thank you so much.
I mean, if you would you like me to go wake up my children and get them down here too so you can tell them that they're like gross little
I don't think it's appropriate.
That
I think it's really appropriate.
Them out, that they're the result of baby farm. I mean, take your little snarky little insults and shove them up your ass because
Do you think
it's
your
women
parents
like me,
did that?
It's women like me who are doing
my parents only
what
had
women
one
are supposed
child.
to do.
And I just also want to share this tidbit because, again, I'm not 100% sure because there's no way that I can watch all 100,000s of hours of Rachel and Andrew debating. But I know a lot of times in the manosphere or red pill talking space, they talk about women and their femininity and the masculine energy, talking back, speaking over people, ad hominem attacks. And I feel like that's kind of what Rachel isn't engaging in.
My parents
You are useless. You are a useless heifer who has never done anything except
you're a great woman.
And this is the trad wife and Christian family that is supposed to be the role model of society. That's why I call bullshit on it.
You're a very godly woman, aren't you?
Both of you be nice.
You started it. Hey, you can dish it out, but you can't
I
take
started it.
Like, how childish are you, Rachel? You started it. Are you one of your 5 kids?
Come on, you're talking about McFlurries or something?
You called me a baby farm, and now you're going to pretend to be offended? Get the fuck
I
out.
said you're the ultimate sex worker, actually.
Okay.
she's a
Yeah,
mother.
me being devoted to one man for 17 years and giving him
You're the
children is
ultimate.
sex work.
You're the old.
And again, it's like, this is why I say I don't know how many people actually know the fact that she has 3 baby daddies. Rachel clearly stated that she has 3 baby daddies, okay? So I don't know how devoted you are as a woman. You talk about loyalty. I don't know if you know what that means, because you got, once again, 3 baby daddies.
Ultimate
So your
sex
parents
worker.
are also part of a baby farm because you were born.
My mom had 1 child and she
What does that
also
have to
worked.
do?
But I know that my parents would have gotten married without having to have children.
If I milk a cow, the cow's still providing milk, though, even if
On
I
the
only milk
farm.
him once. So you're
Now
calling
look,
yourself.
we don't believe that marriage is only for the purpose of children. Had we gotten married and for some reason biologically I couldn't, I had a medical issue and could not give Andrew children, he would not have divorced me, he would not have left me. That's not what we believe in. We believe that marriage is also a sacrament of our church. You don't get divorced for a reason like that. However, why would a man marry a woman who's giving him nothing like you are? You don't bring
So you just
anything
don't value
to the man except
you don't
what?
value women for just being us. Like you just
Okay, anyways, I'm sorry. They're going to go back and forth. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward. I don't have to rehash it, but I agree with a lot of the points that Rachel is saying. I do believe in gender roles. I do believe in traditional roles. However, I do understand that not everybody has a traditional dynamic within the relationship. I can't speak on that. You know what I mean? It's like, I think traditional relationships are probably the ones that are best set up for success. So that's just my preference. But anywho, gonna fast forward.
am.
Get on me, guys. It's roast me.
Giovanni
This is the
J.
roast
donated
session. It's the roast session.
$69.
Thank you, Giovanni.
Growing a family with your loving
Thank you,
husband
Giovanni.
is a baby farm. Farming produces commodities. People with children don't see them as commodities. Exposed yourself and your view on children.
It's debateuniversity.com. I'll do Discord
Again,
after, I guess.
this is what Andrew does for a
debateuniversity.com.
living.
If you want to learn how to become a master debater like Andrew Wilson, you want to learn how to debate like Andrew Wilson, you got to go to debateuniversity.com, get his course, Verbal Combat, over 80 plus hours, or sorry, not 80 plus, 80 plus videos. There's about 6 hours of content. Guys, listen, it's that time of year. Thanksgiving and Christmas is around the corner, so if you want to dominate your liberal family members at dinner, go to debateuniversity.com. You got to get the course, debateuniversity.com.
It really
I wanted to include that ad into this video because Andrew is well equipped in debate tactics, okay? He's really good at deflection. He's really good, his wife as well. Yes, the points that he's saying are correct. However, the method and how he approached the conversation, like, I'm not gonna lie and say that I know all of these methods, but I know what right is and I know what wrong is, and I know what a hypocrite is when I see one.
is a fantastic course. But as you can see in the difference in erratic thinking versus logical thinking, in reasonable thinking
Logical,
versus
you
just
see?
random assertions, in people who actually know how to structure thoughts in a correct way without making completely fallacious and erratic and stupid arguments, that would be the place to go.
Debate University.
And that's what I was saying in the comment section of Friday's video about how Andrew is always talking from this point of condescension where he is the only person, him and his wife, that has logic. Okay, they're making their life decisions based on logic and reason. So again, where was the logic when he chose her?
Hold on. Wait, hold
verbal
on.
contact and verbal abuse.
Oh boy. Okay, hold on. Let me just say
Oh,
my
and smoke
piece. Hold on.
cigarettes while you do
I gotta
it.
let Nick out of here. Let me just get through the Discord
Preacher
really
about
quick.
it. Go
Okay.
call to your fake phony preacher and tell him the mean ortho bros told us that we're fucking stupid and can't make arguments for our positions. Go cry to him and tell him that you don't feel the spirit of Christ. Go tell him that. Go tell him.
I hope you rebuke
And then have
those
this female
demons,
preacher come out
Andrew.
and pat you on the head.
I hope you rebuke
If
those
I lose
demons,
100
Andrew.
pounds, will you stop smoking?
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Wait, really quick, since Nick's got to go. Guys, we had a literally shaking quit. It's the first in the whatever history. I will be posting the BTS security camera footage to our Discord. It's Discord.
I want to include this part into the video because I think this just adds to the dynamic that I was speaking of, right? Like, you have the people in the comment section who's going to be cheering on for the Whatever podcast and Andrew Wilson and Rachel Wilson. You also have camera footage of behind the scenes, and they're willing to expose you if it's a sensationalized moment. One slip of the tongue, one misspoken fact or misspoken statistic, and now all of a sudden you're dumb, you're a dimwit, you're a bimbo, you don't know how to make your arguments, and yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's just a major setup for failure.
Probably tomorrow, discord.gg/whatever. You sign up through Patreon, patreon.com/whatever. Guys, discord.gg/whatever. We'll post in the BTS behind the scenes section over there on discord.gg/whatever if you want to see the first ever literally shaking quit. Guys, we're just going to do the roast session, and then we'll wrap up the show here pretty soon. TTS has been lowered, so if you want to get it in, if you want to, whoa, wait, what the hell happened here? Hold on.
Andrew, you
Sorry,
remember
guys.
me? Question mark.
I do remember you, yeah.
Thank you. All right, cool.
Only because you look a lot like my black ex-wife.
You know what? We'll bring her on, and we'll see what
She's been in the chat most of the night. She's sending.
I wanted to include that very last part because, like I said, that was the last moment of pause that I had on the video. That was enough reason for me to dig a little bit to get some clarity, right? He said he had a black ex-wife and she had been in the comment section all night. I don't know, was he joking or was he being facetious? So I started doing some digging and I came across a video from Just Tree 411 here on YouTube. I'm going to be linking the full video in the description box down below. So anyways, I'm gonna shut up and share the video.
What's up, taters? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com, and welcome to my channel, Just Tree 411. So I am going to go over some hardcore facts and receipts. I'm also going to give you the timeline. You're going to love this video. You're going to want to share this video, and you're going to want to bookmark this video because this is going to put an end to their lies once and for all. Andrew and Rachel has been spending the last week, as a matter of fact, whitewashing their past, whitewashing their evil deeds. Brittany and I are the only ones providing receipts, while the only thing that Andrew and Rachel are providing is lip service. They do not debunk what we have basically presented as evidence. They don't debunk it with anything. They just go, that's not true, this is not false, that's not true. And receipts keep coming out showing that they're lying. So my question is, once I show you all the timeline, and once I show you all the hardcore receipts, my question is that why are we the only ones that are expected to show evidence? And these two clowns don't have to show nothing. The only thing they can say is, nanny boo boo, that's not true. No. Make them accountable. If anything that I said or anything that Brittany said is not true, they need to come up with actual evidence and not just say, no, it's not true. I am the queen of receipts, and you're going to see why I don't play with these people and I don't play with anyone. If I said you did something, you can put your money on me, baby. I come with facts, and you're about to see how I get down. So let's...
I don't know like who she is and what Andrew did to piss her off and this girl Brittany. But yeah, this video is very interesting.
Go ahead and get started. But before I do, okay, I need to give a big shout out to Thoughts and Players. Let me tell you something. Thoughts and Players is one of the best investigators we have out here, and I am so glad that they were helping me. I feel so sorry because they were with me for 5 hours, and it wasn't until we finished the timeline. We didn't finish the timeline until like 6:15 in the morning. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Look at this right here, right? Look.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it so that we can all take a look at it at home. And again, this is not my research. This video is from Tree 411. So I'm just gonna say all of this is alleged, okay?
Look at the entire timeline that it took for us. And by the way, what you're looking at right now, that took 5.5 hours, and we didn't finish until 6:15 in the morning, and that's when I decided to go ahead and put the videos together. So once again, shout out to Thoughts and Players.
I'm gonna go ahead and skip forward to the third baby daddy when Andrew came into the picture. So let's hear it.
Then we already know his last name, so I really don't have to say Andrew W. But this is baby daddy number 3, Andrew. Let's go through the timeline, and then we will go over the receipts. So in 2009, Rachel gave birth out of wedlock to her 4th child with the initials SW. That is her daughter. That is the daughter that belongs to Andrew. That is the first biological child that belongs to Andrew, not the first daughter that belongs to Chad, not the son that belongs to Brian, but this little girl belongs to Andrew. And by the way, Andrew was 25 years old and Rachel was 29. So Rachel is 4 years older than Andrew. That doesn't sound traditional to me. Now, 2010, during the month of June, Andrew married a black woman named Taraka, and I got the marriage court filings to prove this. So it looks like Andrew was into the swirl, y'all. Okay, he loved him some.
And he admitted that at the end of that last video. See? That video was only released 5 days ago from the Whatever channel. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like how much of this information is actually widely known by the followers of the Whatever podcast? Because again, whenever they are speaking on the channel, it seems as though they're on this soapbox or this high horse where they can do no wrong.
Black woman named Taraka, and I got the marriage court filings to prove this. So it looks like Andrew was into the swirl, y'all. Okay, he loved him some chocolate. So they were married in 2010. 2010, on June the 4th, Andrew's parents filed for guardianship of the first daughter that Rachel had with Andrew. Ain't that some stuff? Oh my goodness. So see, here's the deal. This is what I'm getting. By the way, what I'm about to say, I'm just guessing here. Okay, I'm just guessing. I'm thinking why Andrew was married to Taraka or Tareka, he wanted to raise the child himself, did not find Rachel to be a fit mother, so he had his parents do their dirty work. I will show you the court case. Trust me, I got the receipts.
She got all the receipts.
So he wanted his first daughter because the second daughter wasn't born yet. And because the deputy sheriff would come over to where Rachel was living and could not serve her, this is the reason why the case got, basically, I think it's got discharged. Let me read this for you for a second. So on June the 4th, Andrew's parents filed for guardianship of SW. That's the 4th child. Okay, that's the 3rd daughter, but the 4th child. The legal notices that were sent to Rachel, not Andrew, because he was married to Taraka or Tareka, who dodged being served. She was hiding. Every time the deputy sheriff would show up, she would go hide somewhere and tell people, I'm not here. Since the deputy sheriff couldn't serve her the court papers, the case was discharged. Now, in 2012, during the month of February, Rachel gave birth out of wedlock again to the 5th child that has the initials BW. So that's the 4th daughter, but the 5th child. During the month of December, guess what? Now, when I can't find the divorce papers because I don't know what state that Andrew and Taraka got divorced in. So I don't know if they got divorced in later in 2010 or in 2011. I'm not sure. But Andrew was able to go over there and creep up with Rachel to get her pregnant again. And that's when she had the 5th baby. And then, because she had her 5th baby, her 4th daughter, February, you need to remember these dates, ladies and gentlemen, February 2012. Well, guess what? It wasn't until later on that year that they got married. So she had her baby out of wedlock February 2012. They didn't get married until December 2012. Either the 27th or the 26th, I'm not so sure. And remember, I want you guys to understand, because Andrew said he was raising Brian's son at the age of 3. No, he wasn't. Brian's son did not get a chance to meet Andrew for the first time until the year of 2012. If I want to be charitable, maybe 2011. And then Andrew was 28 and Rachel was 32, honey, when they got married. On December the 3rd, 2015, this is when the tragedy happened. Brian's son was tragically killed in a car accident. He was only 10 years old, and the person that was driving was a 14-year-old juvenile delinquent who stole his parents' car, and we'll talk about that later on when I show the receipts. Now, let's go to the receipts. Here we have Rachel, who does a lot of talking, and if you want to know how it's so easy to track their past, it's because she talks a lot. She talks a lot. She writes all her business online, and that's how we were able to time track everything she has done in her life, you know, after she got out of the house of her parents and lived with Chad. So here we have it on April the 30th, 2012. This is what she tweets. My 3-year-old daughter, and I basically censored the daughter's name, even though she doesn't. I just want you guys, we are really looking more out for her kids than she is. So I censored out the daughter's name, and she says, my 3-year-old daughter, S, was pretending to be a puppy this morning. She fell on her butt and said, I hurt my tail, hashtag toddler, hashtag cute. So we just did the math right there to figure out when she, what year she had her daughter. And if you look at the timetables right there, it adds all up, okay? Now, here is the court filings of the marriage between Taraka and Andrew, okay? So this is when they got married. They were married. I don't know when they got divorced. Some people are saying they got the marriage annulled. I'm not sure.
So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Please do go check out Just Tree's full video in the description box down below. Like I said, I will be sharing a reaction video to it later on today, but I just want to include some of the receipts because that's really where some of my criticism was coming from. I checked out some of the court cases that Just Tree included in this video. They are all public records and they do check out. So again, I mentioned in that last video, and maybe you guys overheard it because you guys are all just defending Andrew Wilson, just like the people that comment into the Whatever podcast during their live streams. Okay, sometimes you guys can overlook people's bad behavior because they are saying a message that you agree with or align with. And so anyways, I don't disagree on the fact that single moms are probably not the top choice for most men. I don't disagree that most children that are raised in single parent households are more at risk to be a part of the statistics. You know what I mean? So I don't disagree on any of that. I was just asking the question as to what made you and Rachel different. What? You know, like what made her, a single mom who was sleeping with a married man, any better? How is she a trad wife? Why did you want to financially support her and her 3 kids? Why? And again, I call it hypocrisy because that's an active choice and a daily choice that he is continuing to make. Understand you made that mistake 17 years ago. But I ask, given what Andrew Wilson knows now, given all the statistics that he parrots during all of these debates, given all of that, would he go back and not meet Rachel? Would he go back and not give her that opportunity? Would he go back and cheat on Taraka? Would he? Okay then. But anyways, I've enjoyed today's conversation. Hope you guys did too. Please let me know your thoughts and perspective down in the comment section down below. If you guys stuck around this far, please do hit the like and subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And I look forward to speaking with you guys next time. Bye.